One of the questions I get asked all the time is, how do I network? It sounds really simple, doesn't it? You know, how do I network? I just talk to people, don't I? Go and build a network and chat to people. What else is there to it? I think the thing that really holds people back is they're scared of it. But the reality is, whether you're in business for yourself as an entrepreneur, whether you're working for somebody in a job and inside a big or a small organization, or whether you're just pursuing a vocation right now, you're going to need to build a network. So I hope this video is going to help you. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Simon Phillips, and I wrote a book a few years back on how to network. And the way I put it together was to interview a whole load, about 50 experts in networking, people that ran networks, people that started networks, people that started network movements and created networks all over the world. So I thought these people should know how to do it, and some fascinating results came through that. I distilled that into a bunch of principles, some top tips and some ideas. And I just wanted to share with you today some of their advice, if you like, around guidelines and some of my interpretation. So let me just quickly share my screen with you and we can get started on this. So there you go. That was the book. It was called The Complete Guide to Professional Networking, The Secrets of Online and Offline Success. It did really well. And for those of you who've got it, I'm sure you've used it, because the tips in there that the experts shared with us were phenomenal, basically. And I just want a quick shout out to Simon Phillips, the cartoonist, who put some really funny cartoons together. He even managed to make me look good, which is not bad going, is it? So here they are, 5 networking guidelines distilled from the brilliant brains of the people who, as I said, you know, some of them built massive global networks, like Thomas Power, and people that grew massive UK networks like Brad Burton, people that built massive global learning organizations like Van der North, real experts in what they were talking about. And here's, as I said, I'll get my words out in a moment. Here's 5 things that they shared with us. The first of them was that givers gain. A lot of people approach networking thinking, I need to join that network because I need to get online and get involved in groups because I need. And that's the wrong way around. Switch it around. Identify a network where you can help, where you can contribute, where you can add value. The more you give to your network, the more you will get back by the law of reciprocation. But if you go in with the intention of I want and I need, that's actually going to repel people. So switch it around. What can I give? Where can I help? What value can I add to these relationships, to these networks, and to the individuals that I meet? If you go in with that mindset, people will respect you. They'll love what you do. They'll talk about you. They'll refer you on to their friends and connections, and all will be well in your network. So that's number 1. Number 2 is ask for help. And this isn't something we're great at, is it? We're supposed to be professionals. We're supposed to be brilliant at what we do. Why would we need help? We maybe perceive help to be a sign of weakness, and it isn't. Actually, asking for help is the best way to engage your network. But you're not asking for help because that's the only thing you want from your network. You're just asking for help because people love to help. It's a great relationship builder. So as you identify someone, as you find out things that they need and that you can maybe help with, don't be afraid to ask for help. And in fact, go out of your way sometimes to just ask for a small thing. Maybe it's an introduction at a network meeting. You've just turned up, you're new to the network, and say to people, you know, I'd love to meet somebody here who's involved in X, and they will love to help you. But as I said, make that your secondary intention. It's not number one on this list for a very real reason. The third one is to connect and grow. See network building as something that's going to happen over the long term. You don't turn up for at a network to suck it dry of everything it can possibly give you and then move on. Networking is definitely a long-term strategy. You will make some short and some medium-term gains through building your network, but if you see it as a lifelong activity and that each of the connections that you make will help you grow, then that's going to be your best strategy. So it's about connecting. It's about finding things in common, isn't it? It's about working out where you have something that others can gain from and that you can help them in their businesses, in their activities at work, or in their communities. So we're connecting, we're starting to form relationships, and we build that up very slowly. We, you know, sometimes, you know, it's just a coffee. We're going to meet up for a virtual coffee at the moment, and we're going to talk, and we're going to find out a little bit about each other and start to look for opportunities where we can help each other. Some of the best relationships that I now have, some of the best network connections that I now have, there was absolutely nothing specific I could help them with or they could help me with when we first met. But we've grown the relationship. Invest in the relationship, because in so doing, you're going to learn some things. You're going to find out a lot more about them. They're going to find out a lot more about you. And slowly but surely, different parts of their brains and their catalogue of connections are going to start to come to the fore. And they're just one day, something's going to appear and they'll remember, yeah, I wonder, that might be a good connection for them. So a great example, I met a really fabulous guy called Mark League, probably about 15 years ago now. And I met him at a few networking events. He was an expert accountant, but he also helped accountancies grow their businesses. And that was his sort of unique little niche. I'm not in that field. I had an accountant, but they were, at that point, they were a very old and traditional type of accountant. So I didn't have anybody that I could forward on to Mark. But I think it was about 5 years ago. So having known Mark for about 8 to 10 years, the opportunity came up by somebody in my network was looking for an accountant, but not for an accountant for their work. They needed an accountant to speak at an event. And I knew, because I'd kept in touch with Mark and built the relationship over the years, that that's what he did. So I was able to pass that referral on, as I said, something like 10 years into our relationship. He was delighted. He was also a bit amazed that I'd remembered him in that context, if you like. But if you have that attitude of, wanting to help others, then when you pass on those referrals, that will help you stand out in their network. And, what happens is it may not be that individual that manages to reciprocate, but somewhere, somebody in your network is thinking about you and thinking about how they can help you with a referral or a connection or a piece of advice or something that they can do that will help you as you move forward. So by connecting, building the relationship first, we will then have opportunities to grow, whether that's growing our business or growing our mindset or growing our skill set. So that's what connect and grow is all about. And it's very closely linked to the fourth one. Who knows what the caring principle is? I tell you what, do this honestly. If you think you know, type an answer down below, just to play the game. But for those of you who don't know, the caring principle is this: People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It's a good one, isn't it? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. If you deeply care about other people, not in a surface level way, not in an insincere way, people can spot that too. But if you really genuinely care about people, then you will be an expert networker in no time. Because if you think about what I've said already, givers gain. So you're going to give to your network first. You're going to ask for help, but not big things. You're just going to ask for help in a way that forms those bridges in relationships and identifies for people what it is that you're trying to achieve right now. And it makes them feel good to be able to help. You're going to form deep connections, good relationships, ones that you can probably call them or email them 2 years down the line, and they'll be very happy to help if there's something you can do to support them, or even the other way around. And we're going to grow through the development of our networks. So all of that comes from a point of being heart-centered, wanting to help and wanting to be there for the people in your network. So how can you demonstrate that you care? Well, it all comes down to number 5 here, KIT. Keep in touch. It's very simple. Just keeping in touch, dropping them an email, giving them a call, popping online, liking something that's going on their social media lines, just to keep yourself on their radar. Now, you're not doing that for selfish reasons. You're doing that because if you're there and you're visible and you're in their mind, there might be something right now you can do to help them. And that, as I said, is the best way to build your professional networks, your personal networks, your networks that are going to enable you to improve things in your community and in your space right now. So that's it. Those were the top 5 guidelines that I distilled from all of those conversations I had, and also what I found that works. So I really recommend those to you as you get your networks going. Give them a try. Just try one of them this week. Just try, maybe it's about just sending something, a message to someone that you know will just help them right now. I mean, if you think about what's going on in the world right now, there is so much uncertainty. There's so many challenges that people are being faced with. Getting in touch, keeping in touch is probably a fantastic thing that you're able to do right now that they are going to absolutely value. So give it a go. Tell me what works. Tell me what sort of responses you get, and put those in the comments below, and I'll be back with some more thoughts on networking, on personal effectiveness, and on change very soon. Take care.